I thought I knew my limits, but then you came along and tested every boundary I had, leaving me questioning everything I thought I understood about myself and about us. The way you challenge me, the way you stir my emotions, has me constantly on the edge. One minute, I'm lost in your presence. The next, I'm overwhelmed by the intensity of it all. You make me feel like I'm walking on a razor's edge. One step too far in any direction, and I could fall. But somehow, I can't seem to stop moving forward. Every time I think I've reached my breaking point, you come back with something new, something that makes me feel both terrified and exhilarated at the same time. You've become a constant presence in my mind, a reminder of how unpredictable and intense emotions can be. I'm not sure whether to embrace it or run from it. There are moments when I wonder if it's all worth it. The chaos, the intensity, the uncertainty. But then you look at me, and I know that I can't walk away from this feeling. The way you make me feel is like a tidal wave crashing into my heart, overwhelming me with emotions I can't explain, and yet I can't help but ride the wave. Every time I think I've figured out my feelings for you, you throw a wrench into the works, and I'm left scrambling to understand what's happening inside me. There's a magnetic force between us, pulling me closer even as I try to resist. You're like a puzzle I can't solve, but I can't stop trying. You've got me questioning everything I thought I knew about love, about connection, and about myself. Each moment with you feels like a revelation, both beautiful and terrifying. I don't know if I should be scared of how deeply you've gotten under my skin, or if I should be thankful for the way you've opened up a new chapter of my life. You make me feel like I'm living on the edge of something incredible, but I can't decide if it's a cliff I'm about to fall off or a view I've been longing to see. I never expected you to be the one to push me to the brink, but here I am, caught between wanting to stay and wanting to break free from the intensity you bring into my life. The pull you have on me is like gravity, constantly bringing me back to you, no matter how hard I try to escape. I can't tell if I'm being drawn to you or pulled into a storm. There's a tension between us that's impossible to ignore. Every glance, every touch, is a spark that threatens to ignite something both dangerous and beautiful. You've got me teetering on the edge of a feeling I can't quite place, and no matter how much I try to understand it, it keeps pulling me deeper into your orbit. Every time I try to find my balance, you come along and shake everything up, making me realize that maybe I don't want balance after all. You make me feel like I'm constantly on the verge of something big, something that could change everything, and I'm not sure whether to embrace it or hold back. There's a chaos in your presence that excites me and scares me all at once. And though it drives me to the edge, I can't seem to pull away. It's like you've unlocked a part of me that I never knew existed. And now I find myself struggling to control the overwhelming surge of emotions you've awakened in me. I never imagined that I could feel this lost in someone else's world. Yet here I am, captivated by the way you've changed my perspective on everything. The way you make me feel is like a puzzle I'm constantly trying to solve. But no matter how hard I try, the pieces keep shifting, and I'm left trying to figure out where I fit. I'm not sure what's more terrifying, the way you drive me to the edge, or the way I feel like I can't stop myself from falling over it. Every time I think I've found my footing, you come along and shake things up, reminding me that there's always more to discover, more to feel, and more to experience. You've become the storm I never saw coming, and now I find myself caught in the whirlwind, unsure whether to embrace the chaos or escape it. Your presence makes me feel like I'm standing on the edge of something unknown. And though I'm afraid of what's on the other side, I can't help but take that step forward. The intensity you bring into my life is both thrilling and terrifying, like standing on the edge of a cliff, waiting to see if I'll soar or fall. You've blurred the lines between love and madness, and now I can't tell if I'm falling deeper into something beautiful or something that might break me. Every moment with you is a push to the edge, and even though it scares me, I can't seem to pull away. There's something irresistible about the chaos you bring. I never imagined that the simplest interactions with you could leave me feeling like I'm on the edge of something monumental. And yet, here I am, uncertain of what comes next. It's like I'm walking a tightrope, caught between wanting to run away from the chaos you stir in my heart and being drawn to you, unable to escape the pull. How did we get here? You've unraveled everything I thought I knew about myself, pushing me to my limits, testing my patience. But still, I can't help but crave more of the wildness you bring into my life. I never imagined that a single person could become both the source of my greatest joy and my deepest frustration, yet here we are, tangled in a whirlwind of emotions. It's like every word you speak ignites something inside me, a flame I can't seem to put out, a fire that burns with the intensity of 1,000 feelings, and I'm left questioning my own limits. You drive me to the edge, not with your actions, but with the way you make me feel, intense, alive, and sometimes lost all at once. I can't seem to decide whether I want to pull away or dive deeper. In the chaos of your presence, I find myself torn between wanting to hold on tight and needing to let go. It's like a never-ending battle of desire and self-preservation. What you do to me doesn't just break boundaries, it shatters my sense of control, turning everything I once thought I knew about myself upside down. Your words linger long after they're spoken, your actions echo in my heart, and suddenly nothing makes sense anymore. It's as if you've taken my thoughts and made them your playground. I've never felt so lost in someone else's world, and yet I can't help but be addicted to the way you pull me deeper into this unpredictable, emotional whirlwind. There are moments when I wish I could escape the emotional roller coaster you've put me on, but then, in a fleeting second, I realize that this chaos is what makes me feel alive. Each day with you is a new chapter of uncertainty, where I'm not sure whether I'm being lifted up or pulled under, but somehow I can't stop turning the pages. It's as though you've entered my mind, unlocking doors I didn't even know existed, and now all I can do is watch as you wreak havoc on my once calm, orderly thoughts. When I try to walk away, I find myself pulled back in, like a moth to a flame. I'm not sure whether to admire your power or resent the hold you have over me. You've taken control of my thoughts without even trying, leaving me to wonder if I ever had control over my emotions to begin with. Every time I think I've got a handle on my emotions, you come in and, like a storm, you sweep everything off course. I don't know whether to run or to surrender to it. You're the storm in my calm, the spark that ignites my passions, and the reason I can't keep my thoughts straight anymore. What you do to me goes beyond words. It's a feeling, an overwhelming force that takes hold of my entire being and leaves me breathless, wondering where I begin and where you end. The more I try to resist, the harder it becomes to stay away from you. It's as if my very soul is drawn to you, helpless in the face of emotions I can't control. Every time I think I've figured out my feelings for you, you throw me off balance again. It's like trying to hold on to something that's always slipping through my fingers. There's something about you that keeps me coming back, despite the chaos you create in my heart. Maybe it's the unpredictability, or maybe it's the way you make me feel like I'm living on the edge. You've opened up a side of me I didn't know existed, and now I find myself struggling to find my footing in a world you've completely changed. Every thought I have seems to revolve around you. Every moment I spend with you feels like a whirlwind, and yet I can't seem to break free from the grip you have on my heart. I'm constantly teetering between wanting to stay close to you and needing to pull away. You've pushed me to my limits, and yet I can't help but stay, wondering what comes next. There's an energy between us that can't be ignored. You make me feel things I never thought possible, and yet I'm left wondering if it's worth the emotional price I'm paying. The tension between us is palpable, like a magnet pulling at my very soul. Every moment I'm with you, I feel like I'm at the edge, ready to fall or fly. You have a way of making me feel both vulnerable and invincible, as though I'm simultaneously losing myself and finding a part of me I never knew existed. In your presence, I feel alive in ways I can't explain. It's as if every part of me is awake, every nerve on edge, unsure whether to celebrate the connection or fear the consequences. I can't deny the way you make me feel, even when it's overwhelming. It's like a fire burning inside me, consuming everything in its path, and yet I don't want it to go out. You've pulled me into a whirlwind of emotions I can't control. And though I try to keep my distance, something keeps drawing me closer, like a force I can't resist.